our next presenter is Péter Hámori, and the presentation is called The Model of Keszthely. After 10 years of working together, Sándor Guba and Péter Hámori founded Guba Hámori in 2015, a Budapest-based design studio specializing in architecture and urbanism. Their work includes the design of small and medium-sized residential and public buildings. Another part of his design work is to explore the interrelationship between the natural and non-natural environments through speculative architecture designs. So, Péter, come to the stage, please. Yeah, claps.
Hello. Thanks. All right. Okay. I'm going to show you a competition entry that 3 years ago, and we didn't want to win it, but we surprisingly got a prize for this. And one more feature that it knows, that it opened up some possibilities to us to talk about nature and non-natural environments, or human or non-human environments. And I'm going to show you some soundscapes. The point in these were recorded around Lake Balaton, and it shows that how the soundscape changes around the time and the space around Balaton. So the second one was taken in winter when basically there's no human presence, and the first one was taken, could have taken any time, when you can also feel that there is a human presence, like the air flight. And the third one was taken on a beach. And this project was about development of beach, an urban beach in Keszthely, which is pretty close to here. And we wanted to explore the possibilities of a non-human or not a more than human aspect of urban development. And these pictures are about, so the first ones were about soundscapes, these are about landscapes. And who think this one is a natural thing? It was taken at Balaton, so I have 5 seconds to ask you about this one. Anyway, so all these pictures are basically non-natural pictures, or it's not about wilderness, because wilderness is something that we have, like 3% of the area of the surface of the earth is considered as wilderness, and all the rest are manipulated by us, basically. So this is what we can see in Keszthely as well. We can see the Keszthely Bay, and through the military survey maps, you could see how the city evolved and how the riparian zone and the reed zone degenerated. And this is what it looks like today. We can see that there's no reed anymore. It was like a 100-meter deep thing, which degenerated into one concrete line on the shore. And you can see all these huge investments. And what disappeared from this place was basically a transitional zone, what in Hungarian or in Japanese traditional architecture we call it engava, or transitional space, or porch. And this was an analogy that we showed, that basically what Balaton misses is the reed zone, the riparian zone, which is pretty important. But if you're an architect and just start thinking about, if you take away the porch, which was a really important energetic feature of a house as an energetic point of view, you need to start to introduce machines and clean air conditioners and stuff like that. So if you take away from Balaton as well, from the lake, you need to start, you start to introduce some other elements which are artificial. So this is what the urban beach looks like now, and the competition brief was to introduce plus 4,000 square meter wellness function into it. And we said this is what we don't really want to do. So we wanted to come up with a vision that shows different beach typology, which is not centered around human needs, but it's centered around what the Balaton as a biosphere or a biotope actually misses and it should have. So we introduced the riparian zone. We modified the landscape itself. You have to know that you cannot plant reeds because it's just not going to happen. But what we could do is to, by consulting with some ecologists, that to make the land ready for plants to reappear, actually. So on a bigger scale, this is what we proposed. It was a proposal of small ponds and peninsulas to break up the concrete line of the recent urban beach environment. Regarding the buildings, it's just basic. In 2023, it's kind of basic to reuse all the elements that we also already have on the spot. So the new wellness functions that we kept, we didn't keep all the 4,000 square meters. We just introduced the ones which need really low utility needs, and all the ones with the big utility needs went into the city center where it's already built up. And through this landscape modification, what we could also do that you can introduce different characters into the landscape. So for me, for example, doesn't matter anymore. So the last one, we're going to have an ecological and cultural weekend on the last weekend of August. So if you're still around, come and meet us. And Fuzzy Earth, the first presenters, are going to have an installation as well. So we're happy to have you there. Thanks.